is Bailey Goodwin, and today I will be taking you through our activity using BLAST to identify proteins that are evolutionarily related across species. In this PDF, we provide to you background information. However, I am going to skip this and scroll down to procedure, and I'm just going to walk through the computer lab part of this with you. So on your own time, feel free to go back through and read all of this because it does have very important information. However, I'm going to start here. So step 1 is forming initial hypothesis about where you think the mastodon, T-Rex, and hadrosaur, which are two dinosaur species, where they belong on this phylogenetic tree. This is another section that I'm going to skip because this is just for the students to guess how animals are related before they have any other information. So I'm going to start here at step 2. Locate the protein fragment files for the T-Rex bone specimen at the end of this document. So, if you scroll down to the very last page, this is all of our protein sequence data that you're going to have to use. So it says to copy and paste the T-Rex sequence data, so I'm going to copy this with Control C and scroll back up to our next step. Okay, so it says using your web browser, access the BLAST homepage, which once you click on it, it will take you to this website. And BLAST stands for Basic Local Alignment Search Tool. So you're going to be selecting this big button over here that says Protein BLAST, protein to protein. When the screen opens up, the first thing you're going to do is under Enter Query Sequence, and this text box right here, you're just going to paste the T-Rex sequence data that we just copied. Now you don't have to mess with any of these additional settings, they are already set up for you. You're going to come to the bottom and select BLAST. So what it's doing right now is searching the amino acids which we just copied into that text box. It is searching those against every single other protein that they have in their database, which comes from all of the animals whose genomes have been sequenced. So this can take up to a minute or two just since it has millions of data to go through and compare. Okay, so this is your results page. There's a few things I want to talk about first before actually getting to the results. So right here you can see that it says molecule type amino acid, query length 18. What this means is that what we pasted into that box were amino acids, and there was only 18 of them. Now this is a pretty small amount. Most full proteins are going to be between hundreds of thousands of amino acids long. So when we come down here, these are our results, and you can see under this color key for alignment scores that red is going to be the top results, the best match. It's close to 100%. It's the most accurate. And then it goes down to magenta, and then green, blue, and black. So our results start with a green color. It's not because our data is inaccurate, it's just because it's so small. So these 18 amino acids, since it's not the full 100 to thousands of amino acids long, it's just going to be a little bit less accurate in comparing protein data. But that's not a problem, it still gives us good findings. So each one of these lines represents a different protein that comes from a different animal. You can either select the individual lines up here, or if you scroll down, each one of these different lines is the same. So this line right here is represented by this protein right here. The second line, predicted collagen alpha 2, is represented right here. And it just gives you a little bit more statistics behind it so you can understand how good or accurate the result is. So for this very first one, a few things to look at over here is the e-value. So the e-value tells you the expected value or the expected probability that these results came up purely by chance rather than it being an accurate match. So the lower the number or the closer the number is to 0, the better the match will be. And the e-value is represented in scientific notation, so this is 6 times 10 to the negative 9. So this is a fairly accurate result. If you want to get more information on this specific result, you're going to come over here to accession and click on its accession number. This will open up to a whole new page with information specifically on that protein. And the one thing in this page you're going to want to look for is source organism. So this will tell you the organism that that protein came from. So in this case, it came from the Tyrannosaurus rex, which would make sense since it was the T-Rex data, this one, that we collected from the bottom of our document. So it says here T-Rex. So we want to make sure that the very first source organism is in fact a T-Rex. So now that we know it is, I'm going to close out of this. And so now every line below the first one is going to be the animals that are most closely related to the T-Rex based off of this one protein. Now, you would normally go down to the next line to figure out what animal is then closely related, but at the start of this it says predicted, which means it's not going to be entirely accurate because they did not get that sequence data. It is a predicted sequence. So I'm going to skip this line and head straight down to the next one where it just says collagen alpha 2 1 chain. And I'm going to, oops, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to click there, that's my fault. I'm going to come over here and click on its accession number. So in this new page, I'm going to go to source organism, and it says that it comes from the helmeted guinea fowl. And if you're curious as to what that is, you can feel free to copy and paste it into Google, and you will see that it is a bird. So the most closely related animal to a T-Rex is so far a bird. So you can close out of this now, and I'm going to go check the next one and see what it is. So I'm going to come here and go over to accession number. And down for my source organism, it is the chicken, so it's another bird. So here you have it. You just use a bioinformatic program called BLAST to scientifically prove that the T-Rex is most closely related to birds, specifically the chicken and the helmeted guinea fowl. Now you can follow this exact same process with the hadrosaur data and the mastodon data, and excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You can use the hadrosaur data and the mastodon data in order to see what animals are most closely related to them. So I hope you enjoy this activity, and thanks for watching.